Welcome back to the latest edition of NC Sports Weekly News, your water sports essential. A test even for the very best, but the underdog takes the victory. A surprising Jeremy Flores takes the win and makes his career comeback at the WSL Tahiti Pro. Parade of sails in central London for the start of the Clipper Round the World race, and it's a spectacular send-off for a unique 40,000 nautical mile adventure. A word from legend Sir Robin Knox Johnston. Burling invades the ancient Roman waters of Civitavecchia as Leigh, Macmillan and Sultanate of Oman win on the GC32s in Italy with Spindrift and Alinghi on the chase. Peter Burling steers Team New Zealand to victory at the America's Cup World Series in Gothenburg and opens the gap on Spithill and Ainslie for the 2015 title. NC Sports plunge into the action. Everyone loves an underdog story, and with a 19.87 on Wave 1 in the Tahiti final last week, Jeremy Flores nailed the title and sealed one of his best career results since his 2006 debut. This season, the 27-year-old French pro from the island of La Réunion has found a new consistency and closed the file with a 16.87 to 13.20 against Brazil's world champion Gabriel Medina, a winner here last year.
Well, it wasn't many waves. I think it all matters at the beginning of the final. And but I mean, I was always looking at the mountains, and you know, it's like, come on, even if I lose this final, it's paradise. Like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Tahiti once again delivered awesome, powerful, and majestic sets of waves for the Billabong Pro, but also several lay-days, bringing out the very best from a host of top contenders and on a WSL Championship tour that is now more open than ever. Medina was back to full form, and it showed early on in a spectacular battle of the nines in round 3 against Hawaii's JJ Florence. The Brazilian star then pushed back a Kai Otten and a supercharged Owen Wright to access the final. On his side of the ladder, a consistent Flores did away with Barco, Dantas, Slater in the quarters, and CJ Hobgood in the semi. Following the early high 9 in the final, Jeremy then posted a valuable 7 to defend his leadership and left Medina to struggle for the combo. With this key result, Flores also leaps up to 7th place on the world rankings. Catch the full recap from Tahiti on the next edition of NC Sports Top Story.
You know, I have the best entourage, the best friends and family, and it's because of them that I got back to just enjoying, having fun, and being hungry like I used to be. And this year, that's what I've been kind of been doing, just you know, out there to win it. And then if it doesn't happen, then it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
All was done and goodbyes were said, Tower Bridge finally lifted its gates last Sunday for what has now become a classic send-off for the Clipper Round the World race, as thousands are cheered on along the Thames. Celebrating its 10th anniversary, this is more than just a regatta. It's a huge global adventure for the 690 amateur sailors from 44 countries that will be rotating within 12 teams on board identical yachts. In nearly 1 year, they will face over 40,000 nautical miles at sea, touching 6 continents and 14 ports in 8 legs. a unique opportunity to bring offshore sailing to a grassroots level under the banner "No experience necessary," that could only have been masterminded by its very pioneer and legend, Sir Robin Knox Johnston.
They're going to go through some of the calmest waters in the world and some of the roughest waters in the world, in fact the roughest waters in the world. They're going to see countries they've probably only read about, never thought they'd ever visit, meet people with different cultures, different languages, meet winds from every single direction, hopefully mainly good ones so they can go fast, but nevertheless they will have to get used to sailing with whatever wind is available to them. They'll learn the patience that's required to get a boat moving when it's really calm, or the stubborn tenacity that's also required when you're beating into a snow blizzard and you know you've just got to keep that boat going until it's your turn to be relieved. It's a complete cross-section. The great thing everyone learns is that sailing is a wonderful lesson in patience.
Pushed by the trade winds as clippers did back in the 1800s, the fleet is now tackling the first 5,000 plus nautical miles in the Atlantic Ocean to Rio de Janeiro. From there, they will head back eastward to Cape Town, South Africa. Australia's Albany and then Sydney await them in December for yet another sprint within the Sydney-Hobart. Back from Tasmania to Queensland, the Far East route sees a new stopover in the port of Da Nang in Vietnam before hopping on to the Qingdao Classic in China. Next year's Pacific crossing will land in Seattle, after which headings will be set to south for the Panama Canal. From Central America, teams will see springtime in New York, before of course heading straight east and back to the UK finish line by July 2016. A three-way battle ensued in ancient Roman waters for the fourth stop of the new GC32 Pro Circuit for foiling catamarans in Civitavecchia, Italy. Last Sunday, Sultanate of Oman, Spindrift and Alinghi finally got the 10 knots of thermal breeze needed for the takeoff, and the show was full on. Fishing from his hat trick with the win in Russia on the Extreme 40s, Leigh Macmillan and the seasoned Omani crew were remarkably consistent with 3 wins and were bumped off the podium only twice in 18 races held.
We knew it was going to be a hard day, you know. It was very close on the overalls, us and Spindrift and Alinghi, and we were just very conscious about just trying to minimise the amount of points we lost to them each race, and try to, you know, really do the best to get boats between us when we could.
Consistency really paid off because racing was super close all the way to the end. France's Jan Guichard, the second overall in Civitavecchia, explains.
The goal was to win the start. The start was the goal, because if you turn the first mark, you're rounding the first man in the top position, you win the race. So it was the key today, and sometimes it was up and down. But second place 3 times in a row for Spindrift, so it's a good result. But now for Marseille, I would like to win.
Winner of the Kiel GC32 stopover last month, Alinghi was as always a most dangerous adversary. Off to a slower start, the iconic Swiss team led by American skipper Morgan Larson then reacted by nailing 6 near consecutive wins to get back in the game. Yet a DNF in an unlucky race of 17 put a stop to any hope of victory. Third place for Alinghi in Italy. The GC32 circuit will be heading to the Marseille 2015 season final the first weekend in October. Sultanate of Oman is now leading the overall leaderboard. Within a handful of points, Alinghi holds on to second and Spindrift to third. Teams ENG and Armin Strong can spoil anyone's party, so with such an even playing field, all bets are still on for who will be the 2015 GC32 World Champion. Young gun Peter Burling showed once again he's got that special superstar quality at the America's Cup World Series in Gothenburg over the weekend. The king of the foiling moths, Olympic medalist, and New Zealand's golden promise for Rio 2016 on the 49ers, has now made his strongest statement yet here in Sweden. With 2 third places on Saturday, Emirates Team New Zealand sat in wait, while defender Jimmy Spithill on Oracle Team USA and Ben Ainslie on Land Rover Bar battled for the lead. Sunday's light and shifty wind conditions, however, reshuffled the playing field on race 3, with the locals of Artemis Racing taking full home water advantage in first, the Kiwis in second, the British in third, and the Americans trailing in 4th place. Helming under skipper Glenn Ashby, Burling took no prisoners on race 4. Not even as an old acquaintance was on his heels, with Kiwi skipper Dean Barker now on SoftBank Japan in 2nd place, and Fakama taking an important 3rd for Groupama Team France. The Kiwis are on top of the overall leaderboard at 72 points, ahead of Ben Ainslie with 65 and 64 for Spithill. The last and decisive stopover of the 2015 season for the ACWS will be in Bermuda this October. Powerful, majestic, simply awesome. Join the current on Nautical Channel for Top Story, coming up next with the interviews and loads of breathtaking highlights from this year's edition of the WSL Tahiti Pro. Plunge into the action with NC Sports.